Good morning, everyone. I'm Kurt Erickson. I'm your worship associate this morning. Thank you for your patience as we have a slightly late start this morning. Our opening words this morning are by Cynthia Landrum. We gather together in different ways this morning, from computer screens, from telephones, or other devices. We gather, reaching out, waving from a safe distance to come together in a religious community. From living room to front porch to car seat, we gather as we are able, ready to be of service to each other, to the world, ready to build the community of hope and of love. As we face this bright morning, we are apart, but we are together, offering our love, our commitment, our hope, and our prayers. In service to one another in this world, it is a new way, but an old way, that we come together in worship today.
Hi, I'm Rob Brendelson, and I'm co-chair of the Technology Committee, and I have an update on our fundraiser. As you may know, we're running a fundraiser for equipment to support our streaming and video conferencing capabilities as we return to in-person gatherings. When researching solutions, the big theme for us was inclusiveness, along with breaking down barriers and the concept of meeting people where they are. During the past year, we've been able to see friends and former members who have traveled out of state, but are happy to be able to participate via Zoom. We've met new faces, some without a local UU congregation, who have decided to join this community due to our ability to embrace these tools. And being honest, I know my family has had those mornings where we're running behind, Sunday best is pajamas, and we're glad to be able to just join from the couch with the camera disabled or watch the Facebook recording. Whether it's because of convenience, COVID safety, or other personal concerns, we want to continue to be welcoming to all who want to join us. Right now, being 100% virtual makes this fairly easy. If you're dialed in via Zoom this morning, you have a microphone and a camera only a foot or so away, making it easy for all of us to be able to be seen and heard. When in-person services start, we're probably not each going to be sitting in the sanctuary holding up our laptops or iPads, but we want to maintain the same ability to see, hear, and connect with each other. In order to avoid a two-tier experience, we need to ensure we have the equipment that is able to connect us in a way that feels natural and avoids anyone being left out. When researching the right way to do this, we found many answers. We could put a cell phone on a tripod and just hope for the best, but that's unlikely to effectively support the themes I mentioned earlier. On the other hand, I spoke with someone whose congregation spent several $1,000s on cameras alone, and another church that was upgrading away from a $30,000 system just so they could deliver their sermons in 4K. Our approach was to balance quality, cost, and flexibility, and the plan we have is within what we consider a very reasonable and realistic budget of $5,000. As of Friday, I'm happy to report we are almost there. We've raised just under $4,000 of the $5,000 goal. Thank you so much for everyone who's been able to contribute. We're looking forward to being able to order and install equipment soon so we can begin testing, training, and practicing. If you're able to contribute, please do, and remember that any amount will help and is greatly appreciated. The link to donate will be available in chat, and it's also available on the UU website. Some excellent questions have come up in the tech breakout rooms the last few Sundays, and members of the tech committee will be available after service again today to share more information. You also can reach out to myself, Kurt Erickson, or any other of the tech committee with any questions. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the Reverend Julianne Lepp, and what a beautiful day today. The sun is shining, and what great news about our tech fundraiser. Thank you so much to everybody. This is also about the time when we used to do our in-person thrift sale, and due to circumstances, we have moved to an online format, and we're trying something a little different this year. We're calling it our spring basket sale. And so people donated items yesterday. It was so fun to be outside and greet folks as they dropped off items from everything from puzzles to dog sweaters to games to garden tools. And so tonight around 6 p.m. You can go to uueauclair.com, and we are doing our sale in the UUC store, and that's what we've done in the past. And all the proceeds go to the UUC, and the sale will run through Wednesday. and you can just purchase your items online. And then next Saturday, which is the 25th, from 12 to 5, a few of us from the fundraising committee will be there to bring your lovely little purchase to your car. So thank you for all the ways in which you support this congregation, and it's great to be with you this morning. And now we're going to have our music for gathering from our beloved member Fred Hobley. Thank you. And now we're going to move to Nate Otto for the life of the community in just a minute.
Morning. I'm Nate Otto. I am VP of the board this year. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are a religious community who commit ourselves to diversity. We hope to nourish human differences, those of gender, race, age, ability, sexual orientation, political views, culture, class, and religious belief. Welcome to all who treasure freedom of conscience in the search for truth. We promise to do our best to provide you a spiritual home. We extend a special welcome to our visitors today. We hope you follow our Facebook page. To participate in Zoom and receive monthly announcements about special events and our religious exploration classes, please sign up for our weekly email. There should be a link in the comments section on our Facebook page where you can sign up. Also, families can follow our UUC Religious Exploration Facebook page. There are religious exploration classes for 4K through 9th grade and a youth group every Wednesday online for middle school and high school. We're glad you could join us today.
In this free church, we come together without creed, focusing instead on the core values of justice, equity, and compassion. Our mutual acceptance of our diverse ways of being as we seek to connect ourselves more fully with the unfolding truths of life and of our world. We commit together to affirm in our actions as well as our words the inherent worth and dignity of every human being.
Good morning. I am Karen Hirsch, representing the membership committee. Today, we welcome new members into our congregation. We will, I think a couple of them are actually here today, and we will have them say their name so you get to see who they are. So we could start with Jim. don't see him.
I'm excited. My name is James. I'm excited to be here, and I love the learning that I've already just brought in from listening to everybody else. So just happy to be here today.
Thanks, Jim. And then Claire, are you here?
Yep, I'm here. Yep, my name is Claire Shepherdson, and I just joined as well. So did the meeting last week, and that kind of sealed the deal for me. So thanks for welcoming me here.
Oh, nice to have you. And are either Teresa or Carol here? No, okay. Teresa Ritzinger is another of our new members, and Carol Nichols. And also between the last joining and this joining, Linda Littrell has also joined. It is a good time to remind ourselves of the goals we hold in common and the experiences we share that nourish our spirits. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist congregation is to provide liberal religious environment that promote personal and spiritual growth for adults and children in a caring community and fosters actions in the world that reflect our Unitarian Universalist principles. We celebrate your presence in our midst. We look forward to working with you, to worshiping with you, to shaping this community together with you. We invite you to participate as fully as you are able, with your convictions and actions, your love and play and gifts, your sorrows and laughter, your song, your questions, and your discoveries. Welcome to our new members. We hope you will get a chance to greet them if you're in Zoom coffee or meet them in small groups and other activities. Welcome.
This reading is called Boundaries by Lynn Unger. The universe does not revolve around you. The stars and planets spinning through the ballroom of space dance with one another quite outside of your small life. You cannot hold gravity or seasons, even air and water inevitably evade your grasp. Why not then let go? You could move through time like a shark through water, neither restless nor ceasing, absorbed in the absorbing, the native element. Why pretend you can do otherwise? The world comes in every pore, mixes in your blood before breath releases you into the world again. Did you think the fragile boundary of your skin could build a wall? Listen, every molecule is humming its particular pitch. Of course, you are a symphony. Whose tune do you think the planets are singing as they dance?
Now is the time in our service where we share our deepest joys and concerns. If you have a joy or concern that you would like to share in the circle of our caring community, I invite you to post it to the chat, either here on Zoom or in Facebook. And with a heavy heart, I do have one concern. I announced late last week that Carol Johnson was declining. And I got news this morning that she did pass away. And so our heart is with Carol and all of us that loved her. There'll be more information regarding that on Monday when we send out our caring announcement. But I light this candle for Carol, lover of poetry, social justice, and always spoke a true word. And epitomized what it meant to be a Unitarian. She was unafraid to speak her truth and just a bright soul. So we give thanks for her life. And it's always hard to know how to share these announcements, but I felt like it was important to acknowledge that today. Also wanted to share a joy about the Jagows. The Jagows, Aaron and Matt Jagow celebrated their baby Jasper being born, and he is doing well. And so we have a new baby among us. So we light this candle for them. And Lacey said she is very grateful for the 2nd anniversary of her kidney transplant. And there is also a joy for Karen and Tim's anniversary and Karen's birthday. I think Karen should have a party all around. And that's a joy. Also a joy for sunshine from Allison, and a minor concern from David Weibel about trying to grow vegetables on the north side and having a lot of soil and not sure what to do with it. So it sounds like we might need to get our gardeners to consult with David. We light this candle for them. And we also have a joy from David that his daughter Julia got a job in Basel. I'm hoping I'm saying that. Basel, Switzerland. So congratulations to Julia. And we also have from Andy a few weeks ago, I let you all know that Andy says his stepfather had a fall and broke his hip. Although his hip was repaired, he also had further damage to his back, and he's in palliative care. I'm so sorry, Andy. We'll light a candle for his comfort and your support. We have a joy from one of our new members, Claire. A joy for joining this wonderful church community that has given me a sense of belonging and has strengthened my faith. Thank you. It's great to have you. And Ashley and Eva, a joy to visit family, and it was wonderful to have them light the chalice this morning. Let's see, from Nate, my dad is finally getting the full time in hospice care that he needs at Toma VA. We'll light a candle for him. And Trish, a joy for many stressful things coming to positive solutions. Amen, Trish. I'll give a you amen. We are all looking for hope at the end of a very long year. Randy gives a joy for Carol Johnson as well. Thank you for sharing all of your joys and concerns in this caring community. And we will close our joys and concerns with the words that we often do. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Now we're going to play our hymn.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open.
This reading is Quitted of Universalism by Robert Walsh. In the newspaper, there was a story about a seminary professor in Kansas City who was put on trial by the Southern Baptists, accused of being a Universalist. It's no wonder they were suspicious. He had stated publicly his belief that all people born into the world are the children of God. And as if that were not enough, he also supported the ordination of women. Case closed? The professor denied the charges. I'm not a Universalist, he said, and he convinced them. After 4 hours of deliberation, they voted 21-11 to let him keep his job. Now, I confess to being a Universalist. In fact, I am a Unitarian Universalist. But I wonder, if I were arrested and charged with being one, would there be enough evidence to convict me? The Kansas City story proves that having the right beliefs is not enough. The professor believed that we are all siblings, that every person has a piece of the divine spark, that women are the equals of men in the sight of God. That was not enough to bring in a guilty verdict. No, if they are going to pin Unitarian Universalism on me, they will have to be able to show that I participated in and supported a Unitarian Universalist church. That is the only way to be sure. Beliefs, no matter how noble, must be embodied in a living institution or they will have no convicting power.
Good morning again. Our service is about mindfulness, and the topic of today's talk is Be Here Now. And I've been thinking a lot about this particular notion about how to be present. And one of the things that I have definitely noticed during COVID is that my attention is all over the place. It's being focused and grounded has taken even more time and even a harder focus. And so spiritual practice has become an important part of my life during this time apart. And some of that has been our Sunday morning meditations, that weekly practice of quietude and reflection. Some of it has been writing, and some of it has been trying to be present to emotions. And I think what's something that we haven't necessarily thought about is, or maybe you have, is that we have been, as a society and as a planet, through a very traumatic event, and that's been this pandemic. And we all react differently to it. You know, some of us, go to counseling, journal. Some of us, run. Some of us eat chocolate. And we all find ways to process our emotions or not. And I think being mindful to how this time has impacted our lives is helpful. And it's not all bad ways. Sometimes this time apart has initiated growth in us. And I know for myself, I've gotten clearer on things that are important to me. And I've heard that from other people, that about how we return to normal life, as if we'll return to how it was before. And we never do, right? We never do return to the way things used to be. We keep evolving and the world keeps changing. And so what's going to be different for you? What will you be present to? Maybe not as many meetings that you have to rush to, or maybe one less activity and more time at home or in your garden or with friends. And being present is one of the most powerful things that we can do with people that we love. And we've talked before about how hard it is to listen. I know my nonfiction book club read a book about that and how we're often spending time figuring out what we're going to say to the person that's talking to us instead of truly listening. And that's something that I have learned a lot, I feel like, in ministry, is that ability to sit. And yesterday, when I visited Carol Johnson for the last time, you don't know what people can hear or feel, but I tried to be present in that time with her, and I tried to express the love of this congregation for her. And when she was talking, when I was present with her during that time, she would say things that, I didn't always follow, but I listened and I affirmed what she was saying. And that's powerful, right? We want to be seen. I see you. I hear you. I'm with you. I love you. And if we can do that for the people that we care about, then just like the spirit of compassion that goes out from us into the world, and hopefully even farther to those we have trouble giving compassion to. And being present is one of the things that our leadership has been trying to do. Over the past year, we've thought about how can we be safe, but how can we be community? And there's a tension in that, right? Because we miss one another so desperately. And the singing and the joyfulness of being physically together in space is powerful. But one thing that we've learned, one thing that we can be present to, is that we can have powerful experiences this way as well. And we've had people join us from a distance that are experiencing this UU congregation, this message of universalism and worth and love in a completely different way than we've ever offered it before. And so we can be present to that and to know that while we are the congregation that we have always loved, we are continuing to evolve and to change. And one of those is that we're going to continue to struggle on how to be together. Some of us have been vaccinated. Some of us may not be able to be vaccinated, or some of us may have different choices for whatever reason. And this congregation has definitely put out the message where the vaccines are, what you can do to, we've offered rides, and we definitely believe in science. One of the ways that we can be present to one another, though, is that, when you're at a UUC event, I'm going to ask you not to go around the room and ask each other if you're vaccinated, and that's hard because we're so excited to be safer and to be, and it seems counterintuitive, right? But let's say, I'm going to just talk about myself because that's what I know. I have rheumatoid arthritis. Luckily, I got my vaccine before I was put on medications, because I'm on medications now that you can't take when you have, I would not have been able to take the vaccine as easily. And there's some people who are so immunocompromised, perhaps they can't, or whatever the reason. And I know my youngest son can't get vaccinated yet. And so we all have different stories. And so when we get together, we're going to mask in our congregation at congregational events. And I know some of you are gathering as friends, and that's beautiful. Follow CDC. Fauci is doing that too, so bless him. And we're just going to keep evolving and learning and growing and being mindful to one another. And it's hard because we love each other and or we're beginning to know each other, and And there's something powerful about wanting to be close. Yesterday, when we were doing the thrift sale basket drop-off, guess who came? Guess who dropped by? Somebody was driving by, and this person, if you're newer, may not know her, but her name is Carol Brainerd, and she is beloved, a longtime beloved member, and we have not seen her in a while due to her health. And her son and she were driving by, and she dropped by and she greeted us, and it was so lovely to see her for that brief moment. And so, you know, there are these unexpected joys, and I know that things are going to keep getting better, and we just have to be patient. And that's so hard after this long year. So I encourage you to think about that mindfulness, you know, as we gather together inside, outside, and then do what you need to do. You know, we all have our different needs based on our families, our health, and we can just respect each other and know that we're all doing hopefully the best that we can do. I wanted to share, I don't know if you've read Richard Rohr before, but Richard Rohr is a Christian mystic, and he wrote a book called Everything Belongs. And this month is very much about the interdependent web of life, and about Earth Day. And he has it touches on a saying, "Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be." So we take things down to the essentials when we're coming into that sense of mindfulness and presence. We let go of words, we let go of thoughts, and we're present in that powerful connection. I know I've had that outside, and you know, this month of Earth Day, and as spring is going bonkers here in Wisconsin, I'm so grateful for these beautiful days. And when I'm outside and can see the blooming flowers and can feel the sun on my face, I can let go. And I don't know about you all, but laying in the grass while I'm physically able to do so will be one of my spiritual practices. And I will lay down and look up at that bright blue sky and let my worries and my tears or my joy and everything just go into the earth. Give it all to Mother Earth. And just like Karen and Tim said, I know this rose will open. I know my fears will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. And I know that when I'm present. You know, we get so caught up in the news and the pain and the worry. And sometimes we just have to be, you know, be with our emotions, be with our present moment. You know, there's so much going on in the world that's heavy and hard, and we're all trying to do what we can do and love in ways that are powerful. And I hope that each of you gives yourself a little slack and that you're present to your own humanity. We're not going to do things perfectly. I know I screw up all the time. I screw up people's pronouns. I call people the wrong names. People I've known for a while will say, and I'll say, "Oh, are you new?" I'll say, "No, I'm not new. I've come here lots of times, and how can you not know me?" Though they don't say that, but it's all these ways in which, you know, we could come up with a litany of the things that we do wrong. But what we can do right is to be present to love, to be present to nature and the earth and all that we can learn from it, and to know that that reading that Kurt did, it, you know, it sounded a little heavy, like as far as be convicted, be institutional. But there is something powerful about a place like the Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Eau Claire. Each Sunday, we say these words: love is the spirit of this church. And we're not very creedal. You don't give us things that we have to say. But man, that particular saying is so powerful, and it becomes like a mantra. Love is the spirit of this congregation. And I know that when I brought my children here 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago, that they would be treated with respect. And I've seen that. I've had one child come out, one child use different pronouns, and people are always, they'll use Kendra's old name sometimes, or say your child, what's the pronoun again? But they try, and that's what we want, right? We want to be seen, and we want to see each other. So be here now. This is the place that we can be. We're always talking about doing and our to-do list and our to-do. And we're especially the Midwest, you guys are hard workers. We're hard workers. I always say you guys, but I've been here 10 years. I better own it. We're hard workers. But to be is powerful, and that's hard work too. To just be with our breath, be with our love, be with this community. So I'm going to share some words from Richard Rohr before I close. To be more present, we must reach into a deep inner spaciousness. Then we can speak with more intelligence and clarity, with a little less ego, with a little less of our agenda. I hope that we can say ego is not bad, it's kind of necessary. The only problem is that our culture teaches that ego is the only game in town. We take it a little too seriously. We take our private ego as it's the full reality. Trying to fix, name, control, and ensure everything for itself. We want predictability. But that fixes us in the past, what was. So we are trapped in repeating it, and nothing new happens. The religious version of egocentricity is wanting to be right, wanting to be in control. To give that up is major surgery. I love that quote. So to be present is to sometimes let things happen, to evolve, and to listen to that small voice within you. And when you think of the rose opening, we don't always know what color it will be, or how many thorns it will have, or even how long it will live, but we know that it's part of life. I know this rose will open. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. And just like a Unitarian, I made it my own lyrics. Thank you for being here with me today, and such a joy to serve as your minister. Thank you. Now's the time in our service where we share of our gifts with one another. And our 50-50 Share the Plate recipient for April is the Chippewa Valley Free Clinic. And our very own Ken Adler is a very active participant there. And we also have other folks that volunteer there, like Kim Lean, and I think Jim Hepner also mentioned volunteering there. You can donate online at uueauclair.com or text to give at 84321. And our music for giving today is very special. This was put together by David Hirsch, and it's our choir singing today. And we will also post this separately. I think it will go well, but we're going to also post this video separately for your enjoyment later. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Tell me where is the road I can
Please join us at home with extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Do you want to blow out the candle?
Thank you for joining us today for our service, and we hope you'll join us again. Our closing words are by Thomas Rhodes. In this religious community, we reach back into the past to honor those who came before us and those who have given much so that we may be here today. And we reach forward with hands of welcome to embrace those who have newly joined our congregation. Wherever your path may take you, may you carry the good news you have heard here today with you in your heart and on your lips as a blessing to everyone you may meet. For those of you watching from our Facebook live stream, I'm so glad you've joined us today. If you'd like to get information on how to join services in Zoom, you can fill out the visitor link in the Facebook comments. Those attending in Zoom, we will take a brief moment to share joys and concerns or share names that you might not have shared during the service. And then we'll move into breakout rooms. There will be one breakout room to learn more about the technology fundraiser from tech committee members, or you can choose a room for coffee and conversation. Go in peace, go in love.